So let's look at arithmetic part 1. Okay, so we'll just start by looking at ratios, and we should see that for ratios the idea is that you're given a ratio 1 is to 3 is to 5, and for any of the ratio problems really I suppose the main first thing to do is to add the parts of the ratio up to get the total numbers involved. So I suppose by example is the best way. The sum of money is divided into the ratio 1 is to 3 is to 5. If the smallest part is €250, find the sum of money, because the sum of money has been divided into 3 people. One person got 1 part, the second person got 3 parts, and the third person got 5 parts of that sum of money. Okay, so if we add each part of the ratio, we find that 1 plus 3 plus 5, there's 9 parts, okay? And the smallest part is 1, and it's equals 250, so we just set up that equation there. 1 part equals €250. So if that's the case, 9 parts must be 9 times 250. We'll basically multiply both sides by 9. And we see that the total sum of money is €2,250. Now you can check that answer by finding 3 times 250 and 5 times 250 plus 1 times 250, and it should all add up to 250. Okay? Or sometimes we might see, for example, as this one here, a sum of money is divided into the ratio 1.5 is to 3.5 is to 4. If the largest part is €400, find the smallest part. So again, add up each part of the ratio, and again that works out as 9 parts. And they've told us that the largest part, this is the largest part here. 3 people got divided the sum. One of them got 1.5, one of them got 3.5 the sum, they all got 4. So 4 parts is €400. Therefore 1 part must be divide both sides by 4 is €100. So the smallest part is this 1.5 part. It must be €150. 1.5 times 100 is 150. Okay, and then other moving on to proportion. An example of a proportion problem would be a magazine increases its pages from 64 to 80, say for the Christmas bumper edition. Its original or normal price is €4.40, and that increases in the same proportion. How much would the new cost be? In the same proportion as the increase of pages, the price will increase proportionally. Okay, so 64 pages cost €4.40. So let's find the cost of 1 page, divide both sides by 64, and the cost of 1 page is 0.068. So therefore, the cost of 80 pages must be equal to 80 times the cost of 1 page. So the new cost of the magazine is €5.50. So the price has increased in proportion to the increase in the number of pages. Let's look at an example of tolerance. A lawn was measured to the nearest metre. The dimensions are as followed. So a guy went out, measured his lawn. It's 10 metres by 20. Okay, so we're often asked to find the maximum or minimum area given this to the nearest metre tolerance, or the max and min perimeter if we were to buy fencing for that. And the way to do these problems is to draw the item that the person has measured, 10 by 20, as they measured it, and we're told that's to the nearest metre. So to the left we'll say, well, what's the minimum values? To the nearest metre means that the range can go 10.5 max to 9.5 min. There's a 1 metre spread over the two between min and max or tolerance. Okay, so if that's the case, and it's the same actually if we've 20 here, the min is 19.5 or the max is 20.5. In other words, it ranges 1 metre between 19.5 and 20.5. So if that's the case, we redraw the minimum dimensions, 9.5 by 19.5, and the maximum dimensions, 10.5 by 20.5. And we simply plug in the max values for area, 10.5 by 20.5, the min area, 9.5 by 19.5, or the max perimeter, the perimeter being this side plus this side plus this side plus this side, which is the same as 2 times one side plus 2 times the other, using the max dimensions, or the minimum perimeter, same thing but using the minimum dimensions. Moving on to percentage error. Percentage error, there's a formula for this. Percentage error is equal to the error, the actual error, over what the true value should be times 100. So, for example, a steel bar was measured as 46 centimeters in length, but its true length was actually 50 centimeters. Find the percentage error. Okay, so the true length was 50. They measured 46, so they made an error there of 4 centimeters. That's the actual error in the measurement. Over the true value, what it should have been, which is 50 times 100, gives an error, percentage error of 8%. Now let's look at how to count. Let's look at percentages. Okay, let's look at this first problem here to do percentages. A meal, and I'm just going to cross this out. I'm going to teach this a different way. Okay, a meal costs €55 plus 17% VAT. What's the final cost? So we just let 100% equal €55. 1% is equal to 55 over €100, and the final cost will be 100% for the meal plus 17% for the VAT, so it would be 117%. So our final cost will be 55 divided by 100 is 0.55 by 117, and that's equal to €64.35. Excuse the scribble. Part 2. A man paid €83 for a meal with 20% VAT included. So I'm just going to scribble this out. Okay. What did the meal cost before VAT? Well, in this case, we'll use a similar method, but this time we'll see that €83 with 20%. So we'll let 120% equal €83. Sorry, 83. So therefore 1% will be 83 divided by €120. So the price before the VAT was added was just the 100%, which is equal to 83 divided by 120 times 100, and that's equal to 69.17. So the price of the meal before the VAT was added was €69.17, and if you got 20% of 69.17 and added it to 69.17, you should get 83%. Okay, a shop gave a 15% reduction on a TV worth 200. How much was the TV? Okay, so for this example, we let 100% equal €200. So 1% is equal to 200 divided by 100. And if they gave a 15% reduction, then that means the TV went for 85%. So that's equal to €170, where we multiply 200 over 100 is 1 by 85, and we get €170. Okay, by selling a car for $14,400, a dealer lost 4% on the purchase price. What was his purchase price? Well, we let 96% equal 14,400, bearing in mind that this represents if 100% was the purchase price, and therefore if he's lost 4%, 100 minus 4, 96% must be the price he sold it for. So if 96% equals 14,400, we'll divide both sides by 96 using the unitary method. 1% is equal to 14,400 divided by 96, and therefore 100%, so we'll multiply both sides by 100. 100% will give us the purchase price, and that was €15,000. Okay, second type of percentages, simple sums. If 8% of a sum is €24.40, find that sum. So we just let the 8% equal €24.40. We find what 1% is using the unitary method, divide both sides by 8. So we get 1% is equal to 24.40 divided by 8. And if 1% is that, then 100%, i.e. the whole sum, must be multiplying both sides by 100. 24.40 divided by 8 times 100 is €305. And type 3 then, profit and loss. So the percentage profit, it would be equal to the actual profit over the original cost times 100, or the percentage loss in any transaction would be the actual loss divided by the original cost times 100. For example, find the percentage profit on a car bought for €1,200 and sold for €1,600. So this is a profit type problem. The actual profit being 1,600 minus 1,200, that's €400. The original cost was 1,200. Therefore, the percentage profit is the actual profit divided by the original cost times 100. So that's 400 over 1,200 times 100. The percentage profit is 33.3%. Sorry, that should be not a euro sign, a percentage.